really want. Although, have you seen the price of hats lately?
Is it $50 yet?
Oh, it's more than that. I mean, hats are ridiculous. 48.95, and then with shipping and tax, uh, I got to go on free hat night. Otherwise, I don't
So,
get a hat.
with the bank logo on the back.
Yeah, exactly. I'm proud to wear the Key Bank. Hey, Monday morning, it's Michael Knight in New York, Vinnie, here on your Patu box,
Every
where we
Monday, every
usually
Wednesday,
reside
every Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yes, Michael. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is where we live. Where we live. This talk. This is where we entertain you, and this is where we hope that you will participate in the show. I worked this weekend, Michael, on a way to have people put their thoughts
Uh-huh.
on the show somewhere where we could see them. I know there's a lot of people like on Facebook. You can Facebook. It's easy. But the other social media, it's get that reaction back. So
Your comments sort of disappear down the tubes of the internet.
yeah, it goes into the nether of the internet. So I think I got to get out. I'm hoping to introduce it on Wednesday so that we can get people's opinions on what's going on at the Democratic convention, which gets underway this afternoon, uh, our time, evening, their time, Biden
Tonight's Joe
night,
Biden night.
Joe Biden night, and he deserves Joe Biden night. And
I hope they don't turn it into these people were with us, these people were against us.
well, I mean, he's got a job to do. He's got one job to really do. Well, he's got two jobs to do. Um, the number one job that he had, and I really thought that this was going to happen over the weekend. I really had a gut feeling about it.
Middle East.
That the Middle East was going to get at least somewhat settled. Maybe not be settled. I don't think he'll ever completely. But I did think that there was going to be um, some kind of
Well, Blinken just got there.
agreement.
There's time. There's time. Blinken just got there.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it so that Kamala Harris stands up. Well, really, I want to see Joe Biden stood up and talked about his accomplishments. Um, the biggest one would have been we got ceasefire. We stopped the Israeli madman,
Well,
and we
there's two sides to that story, and we're forgetting the Hamas side, it seems to me. I'm not hearing
right.
Hamas and Hezbollah mentioned very often.
Well, stop them too. I mean, we just got everybody to like hold on, calm down, and let's stop killing each other until we can figure it.
That's actually too much to ask, Vinny, and you know it.
Yeah, I know it is. It is, but you would just think that maybe here's the thing. I don't know how far this stuff goes. I don't know how these things work really. So I probably shouldn't even say anything about it. But I was kind of hoping that Netanyahu would feel the situation here in the United States
She's on the wrong side.
and try to make it so Biden, his under 40 years, had to go up there on Monday night and talk about. That was my reasoning why when I heard that an agreement was close, thinking that maybe this was going to happen. Maybe this guy respected Biden enough to try to make it happen. Let's try it for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Let's see what happens. And if anything crazy,
Uh oh. Looks like we're frozen, Vin. Oh, darn. Well,
You can probably still see me. We're trying to get Mikey back right now. Uh, Michael, let me just log back into the same thing there. Anyway, I was hoping that that maybe Netanyahu would have the sense or whatever to um to bring to give a friend of his, give somebody an olive branch, somebody, and stop the mitzvah, stop the killing over there.
Well,
But
Netanyahu's in a terrible position where he has to keep fighting to keep his job. He has to keep things upset in the hen house to keep his job because as soon as this war's over and it goes through a pause and the people of Israel get a chance, he's gone. With about 70 to 30 being the moving numbers on that, and he knows it. So he's fighting not for Israel but for Netanyahu.
does he want? I mean, is that and his job he wants?
He just wants the job. He doesn't care what he has to do to get it, or who has to die to keep it, or where the hostages are, or where lunch is coming from. To hell with them all. I just want to be a boss.
Is that the job you want, man? You want the job of killing people every day? God, if that's the case, man.
If you remember, Eddie Izzard talked about Pol Pot. They looked at his diary, and it was killing, 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 lunch, killing, killing,
Yeah,
killing.
yeah, that's the way some people operate. Listen, it's not going to be. The convention is going to get off to a rousing start tonight. We'll pull saying wonderful things about Joe Biden, and I will agree with most of them. I don't, you know, I'm not saying he was our best president because I think that's way overstating it. But what I do think is that he's been the most human president we've had.
And important time in history when we needed somebody to just be sensible and do the job.
When America a grandpa, he was grandpa.
Yep.
America needs a mama
Desperately. It's been some
to
time
vote for
now since
Kamala.
we. Yeah.
But after the shock and complete disintegration of class and the things all the rules that make society what it is, make polite society what it is, Biden in and brought some of that back. He brought bipartisan negotiation back. He became a president for many people. Ones that hated him weren't going to. He's not my president. You get that just like the people that hate Trump. Although I'm always of the thought, crap, he is my president.
Yeah. What are you going to do about that?
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
tr-
I
the,
mean, what
tr-
can
the
you do,
truth is
president? People
the truth is
somehow
ugly.
he got elected.
You've heard about the ugly truth? Well, the truth can be ugly.
Yeah, I mean, he figured a way to do it. So
Tell him I'm away from my desk. In fact, I can't remember where my desk is.
yeah, I appreciate that. You have a good time. All right.
Uh,
For me.
your face
All
is
right,
frozen,
good.
but I'm
Take care.
hearing your.
Bye. Oh, I was just. It was President Bird what we were saying,
You're starting
and
to
he
fade on
just
me,
called to say
man.
thank you. Say thank you.
I don't know if you can hear me, but you're starting to fade on me. You're
I can hear
pixelating
you.
you're pixelating and freezing up, but you're
I don't know
still
what's
there.
going on with this thing.
It's not
How
us.
about now?
It's
We
them.
okay?
A little fuzzy, but you're there. Good job. One thing that I
Michael.
wanted to say, yeah, I'm. I can't be helped.
Michael.
This is, yeah, yeah. I'm I'm here.
It's probably. I think I learned that from Milton Berle.
Just get close to the camera.
Work the camera, man.
Red
Work the
Skelton.
camera. So we had that. Going to be night, I think, for the Democrats. Nothing like Thursday night's going to be when.
And you have to ask yourself, can anything go wrong? You know, I don't know why this number stuck in my head, but in the middle of the night, I couldn't sleep. 264 protest groups are coming to demonstrate. 264 of them, amounting to over 20,000 protesters. And that's a recipe for the unknown.
Well,
Can 264 groups be united about anything? I don't think so.
I do find it sad though that the the media, what do you want to call it, especially the Fox media, the conservative media, wants to compare 2024 to 1968.
Well, it's hard not to.
Well, but it is hard
It's
because
not.
it's totally different.
It's totally different.
It's different. 1968 was a war by the police on the counterculture.
And it was just months after Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy had been killed.
Right, right. You had assassinations. You had just all sorts of stuff going on.
And nobody was very happy with Hubert Humphrey.
Right. I mean, people. Bob Vinnie was supposed to be the guy he had killed, and there were so many people who felt that there was no
Right.
there was so many people that were feeling like there was no way out of this mess.
No hope.
That every night before they switched convention, they would show you the bodies coming home from,
It just never stopped.
and it never stopped. And we had turned the tide early in 1960, maybe even 1967, of saying we got to get this, we got to get out of this thing, we got to get this war over. And we had somebody who wanted to do that, and they got to him.
My first trip to Brooklyn as a young man was to go have my physical at Fort
Hamilton,
Hamilton.
first same place I got mine.
I'll
And
never forgive Brooklyn for that.
and it was so I don't think it's fit. Now again, are these protesters going to get violent? They're going to smash it? Yeah, because they might be, because you're a group of.
Well, if there's 264 groups, some came for fun, some came for
Right. Some came to rock to roast. Some came to
Yep.
get their picture in the media. Whatever they came for. I think that it's fair to compare then and now, except that the convention is in Chicago, and you had an assassination attempt the opposite party's candidate. But people aren't coming home in a box. Um, is America as polarized as it was then?
But probably more so in a different way.
Yeah, I try to think about that, Michael. I try to think if we are more polarized now than we were in 1968, because there was a main difference, I think a big difference actually. And it comes from two places. The polarization back in 1968, almost a complete generational thing.
Right down the middle of the age line.
Yeah, it was. The older people saw their way of life disintegrating, and the younger people wanted so much of a different world. There was a lot of drugs involved in it. So you had kids. Basically, it was kids against parents. Kids running away from home.
True enough.
The hippie movement, the music, everything. This time, it's not along age lines.
Education.
It's ideological. Families are, for the most, a lot together in how they feel
Yeah.
about a particular candidate or a particular subject, or make MAGA. I mean, you see, that poor guy that got shot at the
In
at the
Butler,
Trump
Pennsylvania.
rally had his wife and his kids with him.
Yeah. You
Now,
know
I
the
don't know
funny thing
about you. I
about
would
the
have never gone to a rally that my father was to.
no,
And so I think it dynamic is different now.
it came to my mind the other day why Trump never got that post convention bump. Everybody, every candidate in the world gets a post convention bump. And I think the reason he didn't is because everybody on the planet that was going to vote for him had already said they were going to vote for him. He didn't win any new adherents, he didn't win any converts. Everybody had made up their own mind and joined the cult long before we got this far. There were no new members going to join. No new members are welcome or expected, or we're not leaving the light on the porch for the new voters for Trump because there are no new ones.
Well, I think you're exactly right. He's not, I don't think Trump is back. We I think in the case of Trump voters, of the people most likely to vote for Trump, of the people in that MAGA world, there's no people in that MAGA world. There's a lot of people who were there in 2016
They're
that ain't
still
around
there.
anymore.
That's true.
A lot of people there in 2020.
And the funny thing was, the whole campaign they had planned for Joe Biden was he was too old and feeble to win. And now it's come back like a boomerang to haunt Trump, who can't get through his speech without making a mess of things. And by the way, I'm better looking than her is incorrect. I'm better looking than she is the actual way it's said.
Well, and he won't listen to anybody.
No, they told me that this is going to be an intellectual approach, he said. And that lasts only as long as it took for him to say it. Fascinating guy and the way he's deprogramming himself and taking America with him.
Again, I don't lay out your policies. Tell,
No.
I mean, Michael, I've been in two elections in my life, and one, I asked myself for I voted for me, and I won. The first one that I did many years ago was when I got elected a PCO, and what I learned is that you got to do two things. You got to tell people what you're going to do for them,
And do it.
and you got to ask their vote.
Yeah.
Trump does neither. He speaks in these vagaries. Oh, we're going to bring down the prices of the groceries. Oh, we're going to do the economy. But yet, he plunged the country into the worst debt it's ever seen. His tariff plan could ruin the economy, could put out of work.
Put everybody off the treadle.
I mean, as much as people don't want to believe it, the economy is humming right now. I mean, I drove through the Home Depot parking lot yesterday, empty spaces. So,
They're putting up the scaffolding for the convention.
yeah, that was it. Um, Prices are ridiculous, but that's because people have some money.
And corporate pricing took advantage of the terrible social structure we were in during the pandemic.
And we have to. I don't know. I just at this point, and again, you know, we don't have much of a choice because
We're
you know,
lucky.
you know, on the right side you got the whack job, and on the left side, or I guess the left side, you got the other whack job. So it'll be in to see. I think it's going to be a fascinating. What is it? 80 days or something? 87 days.
I like the short race. I think we should do this every year. You got 3 months to
Too.
get there.
I got to be honest with you, man. I like it too. I like the fact that quick, and he boom boom.
No
It
18 inning games. If you're behind in the sixth inning, that doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. And Trump's behind. And the funny thing is, the polls now are starting to stretch the other way. And that means that there's been the recovery and the catching and the tying, and now the passing. And that's a fascinating development that cannot be denied. And I don't care which way Trump screws it, he's gonna have to deal with the fact that the numbers are not in his favor, and they probably won't. I don't know what could turn it around.
For Trump,
Yeah, I can't see him taking advantage of even a slight uptick.
um, they'd have to catch Kamala Harris in the back seat of a car with
With who?
Tim Walz. I mean, they'd have to catch. I mean, it would have to be a major scandal of some kind, I think, to turn it around, or a major gaffe by somebody.
Somebody's poised to do that.
You know, just I'm convinced of that, and don't think that I don't wait for something like that to happen, or think that something like that could happen.
Somebody said the opposition terrible projects that the Republicans have not been released yet. But what more can they say about it that they haven't said already? What negative connotation can they start using in their speeches that they haven't already used?
In 2000, Al Gore got a bounce that had him up by as much as 16 points.
Supreme Court took care of that.
Yeah. John Kerry did not get a bounce. Barack Obama, and they did their convention before the Republicans uh, gave got a full bounce, but after the John McCain came in, he got a small lead in several, but it was pretty much neck. But the party conventions were the most watched ever.
Hmm.
Republicans edging out. Smaller bump in 2012. Both candidates got a bump after their acceptance speeches in 2016. Clinton's lasted a lot longer than Trump, and Joe Biden did not get a convention bounce.
Wow, I'm surprised to hear that.
As a matter of fact, according to a CNN Change Research poll, um, the race tightened in the swing states. Trump did not receive a bounce after the convention either. CNN indicating that the race remained unchanged after both conventions.
I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah, I thought he would have too, but you are indicates that you're changing people's minds usually, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's so hard to do.
And it's just so hard to do.
When's the last time you changed your mind on something political? I can't think of an example.
Uh,
Well, the last time I did it was Biden.
yeah. Yeah. I can't. Well, no, I didn't change my mind on Biden. I was kind of in his. I kind of liked him. I'd met him, and just goes toward meeting. Met him. I'd actually
Well,
spent a few minutes talking to him, and I just liked his aura. I liked what he. I liked. He seemed to be a regular guy you could talk to. You know what he did when I met him? First thing he did, he asked me my name.
hmm.
It wasn't just yeah, how are you? And then when I told him thankful to him and Obama about Obamacare because it saved my life, he stopped and he took 5 minutes and talked to me about it. And so from that point on, I was like, this is the kind of guy I'd like to see as president.
You were in the camp, and I understand why. I was too, and I didn't change my mind and that's what we're talking about, changing our minds. I didn't change my mind until he became so frail that he just couldn't make his points any longer. And
Oh yeah, yeah. Now, yes. After the debate, I changed my. Well, no, you know what? I look back on the shows. I changed my mind about him. I thought that he should get out. Um, there were just things that you saw.
it got too weird,
Yeah, it's
and
just
it's still
things that
that
you
way.
saw. You were watching him. You were watching Grandpa get it, and you just knew. And on the other side, you had Trump, who whatever they pump in the morning. Um, and you can't convince me that he's not on drugs.
He's on root beer, Ben.
He's something,
Sarsaparilla.
man. He's on something. You can't convince me. Man is not on drugs. They're
Probably
pumping something into him.
some sort of a mood stabilizer.
Well, yeah, or something, some kind of something that will. What's that stuff that makes you, um, perk up?
Stupefactualism.
Yeah, I don't, I don't
Pertussin. He's on Pertussin.
get it. It's not better than all that,
What's the other
but
one?
I think it would be diet pills because it seems like it's rotting his brain.
Yeah, there's something wrong in the reasoning department.
He's touched. He's a bit touched, I think.
Beyond Texas borders, he's still touched wherever he goes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he it'll be fun to watch the kid. Uh,
Shauna Na's not going to be there, I guess.
I understand Shadow's not available. They're state fair circuit. The three of them that are left. As a matter of fact, they don't even call Shana anymore. They just
It's just it's
Shah.
Na.
Just
Oh,
Shah.
I thought it was going to be Na Na. And
Now,
now, Na
have
Na.
I sent you the video of Japanese imitation group
No,
Shanana?
please don't.
No, I'm good. It's. I'm going to even see if I can bring it up on the screen. Maybe I can. It is easily the best thing you'll see all, all day.
Can we get him to Chicago in time for the closing ceremonies?
We might be able to. Oh my god.
Do they have a name that's similar to Shauna Na, or do they
Yeah, they
use?
call those Na Sha Sha. No,
Oh
Na
no,
Sha.
not Shah.
Let's see. Na Sha Sha.
Oh
Oh
God.
my god.
Does Shauna Na know about them?
Uh,
I'm crying
okay,
already. I haven't even seen it.
okay. Let's see if we can. No, Shanana tribute to El. Shanana. No, I want the Japanese band. I'm so glad that all of this stuff is on YouTube. Live for the rest of my life just looking at the boys. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing to work.
The Japanese cover band Shana.
Okay, now let's. Okay, so I got to go over here and I got share screen. Oh god.
I'm laughing and there's nothing on the screen.
I know I'm trying to make it happen.
I know you are.
that's not doing it.
Oh, Vinny's enjoying it.
You see it now?
No. Here we go. Rockin' Cruisin'. The girl in front's got better moves than they do.
Yeah. Go, Mikey.
I like the sign. It says "Rockin' Cruisin'."
So they may show up. They're event.
They'll be in the Grant Park.
So might show up at the convention.
So let's change the number to 265 groups that are coming, and one of them's a Japanese
Nana
tribute to Shanana.
Sha now. That's the name of the group. Not Sha now.
And their motto is "Rockin' Cruisin'." So there you go, America.
Well, evidently the oldies thing is big in Japan. Uh, Aaron was telling me that the oldies, records and stuff like that go for
Right.
phenomenal prices in Japan. So I'm gonna my record, pack up my record and send it over there. Maybe I'll become a millionaire, or millionaire.
I finally sold all mine to Amoeba Music.
When I get mine out here, I got to sell them too. I have to. Yeah, I mean I just don't. Yeah, I mean it's nice to have them, but
I know.
I'm not going to listen to them all. Anything I just go on and even even the special ones and stuff. I won't sell the Rocky Horror Picture Show picture disc. That I'll keep. That's now a family heirloom. Um, and I think I would probably have trouble selling the White Beatles White album.
I think I kept all my Beatles albums. I think in fact, they're right over there.
Yeah, and you're right. I might not even sell any of my Beatle albums. I think there's something that those albums say. And I won't sell my, you know what? I won't sell my Sean on album because I've had such a relationship with that band for so long.
And they were on a cool label, Kama Sutra.
Kama Sutra was a great label, bubblegum label.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, that was Buddha. Was it Buddha? Yeah, Buddha was the bubblegum label.
Well, they were subsidiaries of the same outfit.
Kama Sutra. That was a great. Who else was on? There was a couple other bands, groovy bands on Kama Sutra.
Brewer and Shipley, maybe.
There's a few of like those early 70s, 70, 71, 2, 73.
Love and Spoonful.
I think they were on Kama Sutra. It was a great label,
Oh yeah.
on the record. It was just, I don't know I'm trying to think of who that was one of those. I guess if you put in Kama Sutra, yeah, put in record.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You will go to the wrong place.
get something right different. Yes, Kama Sutra was Artie Rip, Hi Mizrahi, and Phil Steinberg. Kama Sutra, um, and an odd cat found him. Started so it was. You were right. It was the Love and Spoonful. It was stories. Remember stories?
Yep.
Louie, 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 Louie. Us, who I can't lose, and the Love and Spoonful, and the Jaggers.
The Jaggers. My God.
Remember the Jaggers? One hit.
Yep.
Rap a rap. We call him rapper. Way before
There was any rappers.
there was any rap.
Rappers were just guys who talk too much.
Yeah, that was when in hippie once you walk over and say, "Hey man, want to rap?"
Not so much. No, I'm tired of
No,
rapping.
I'm kind of stoned. Yeah. The catalog is now owned by Music Entertainment. The label folded in mid 1976.
Wasn't Eric Jacobson part of that?
It doesn't say there was a band called The Innocents. I remember.
No.
Maybe they
Can't.
were a New York thing. Um,
Maybe Eric Jacobson wasn't an owner. Maybe he was a producer.
ah, uh, oh, was that their first? Their first. Well, talk about. Okay, so their first. Oh no, they do it by number here. Okay, I thought it was their. Oh, okay. Now I know where I saw. They did. You were right, Brewer and Shipley, 1970.
Had a lot of hits.
Yeah. Um, the Flaming Groovies, 1970.
Hmm.
Little Bird, 1970. Um,
Wizard. Is that Roy Wood?
let's see. Skylines, Gene Vincent. These are a lot of these are. Albino Gorilla. No.
I'll pass on
Love and
that.
Spoonful. Flaming Road. Oh, was a Kama Sutra. Remember
Who?
Ocean?
Oh yes.
Put your hand in the hand of the man who steals the water. Second shot, first shot, Shana, second Shana. Buzzy Linhart
Ah, Buzzy.
in 71. Aaron Shipley again with Shake Off the Dust. Buzzy Linhart, Third of a Lifetime. Tiny Alice. Another Shana. couple more stories. There was somebody else. Roger Gun Hill Road. That's the other one I was thinking of. Remember Gun Hill Road?
No.
Back when my hair was short, I was a boy of sorts. Ah, na, 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 na.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was like
Yep.
bubble gummy. Oh, and 1973. This was a reissue. Well, no, it's a reissue.
Sop with camel?
Sop with Camel. 1973 NRBQ. D
Do
Cola
Roger
and a
Blues
Moon
Quartet.
Pie, which was reissued by Rounder, right?
What was it called?
RC Cola and a Moon Pie.
I don't
We used
remember
to
that
play that
one.
at and Charlie Daniels in 1973. They had some stuff, man. And then they every na 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 record 9 different ways. Yeah, they had Charlie Bubba Spoonful. Interesting roster.
I guess Levin Spoonful paid all the bills.
Yeah, I mean, was there a bigger uh, and it was Kama Sutra and Buddha. What did they have here? They had a bunch of. They had like 10 labels that I'm looking at here. Um, and yeah, it's an interesting page. It's at bsnpubs.com, and it's the Buddha story and album discographies by Patrice Iries, David Edwards, Mike Callahan, and Bob Hyde. I'll put a link to it up on our page if anybody wants to read about it.
There you go. The great days of Kama
Fascinating record
Sutra.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, fascinating record company.
A lot of contributions to the sound.
Yeah, and who doesn't get, people always think of, VJ and this snap, but these guys had a ton of hits in the
Yeah.
60s and the 70s. From one hit wonders all the way to Charlie Daniels. And I didn't
Yeah.
read the Buddha roster at all. I mean, that had to be like wow. Holy moly. Captain Beefheart, Tony Bruno, Lord Burgess and his son Islanders, the Lemon Pipers, and the 10th Fruit Gum Company, the Treasure of San Janeiro.
1, 2, 3 red light.
Oh my God. Lemon Pipers, Ohio Express, Zalman Yanofsky.
The guitars for the Levin Spoonful.
Yep. How did the Cats who wrote a ton of those songs, right?
What was his name?
It was two guys, Cassinets and Cats,
Hmm.
and I think they wrote um a bunch of those hits. I'm never seeing their names.
Bubblegum Top 40.
Barry Berg, Two Jews Blues. Oh, they, this is even better. I don't know why I'm doing this on the air, Michael, but it's so they did McAllister of Wonderama. You remember Wonderama?
Yeah.
Wonderama? And he did a song is stuck in my head to this day. Does anybody here have an aardvark? Does anybody here have an aardvark? Everybody here has a right ear, but nobody here has bark.
Of course.
He took
I,
over
I can
Bob
see how
McAllister.
that I can see how that would stay in your mind for a while.
Yeah. Bob McAllister took over Wonderama from Sonny Fox.
That I
You
did
remember
not
Fox?
know.
Oh yeah, we've talked about Sonny Fox before many years ago. Um, but Sonny Fox was one of the original kid show hosts, and he wanted to get away from the kids. So they gave him like a an adult show, like a mid morning show, and then moved Bob McAllister in uh,
Into the new
kid show,
Wonderama.
the
Yeah.
Wonderama. And then there was another guy. He was on Channel 5, and then there was another guy who did a show on Saturday morning called Fred Scott. No, the guy was Fred Scott. The show was called Fred Scott, and it was also a live kid show. Where the kids would all be in the bleachers,
Of course.
and I remember bringing Mr. Wizard on all the time. My earliest memories of television it's. I mean, it had to be like 5 or something. You know, but yeah, Channel 5, 5, 11, and 9 had the best kid shows.
The independent stations in New York.
Uh, yeah, it was the Cassinets Orchestral Circus was the name of that. What's the name of that? And then Emery, give me good love, and of course, probably maybe biggest group. I don't know. I'd have to see sales figures. I forgot about this. Johnny Maestro and the Brooklyn Bridge
Oh, on Buddha?
was on Buddha, right? Right. Um, their first album in 1969, BDF 5034. Brooklyn Bridge, blessed is the rain. Welcome, which way to nowhere? Free is the glad she was a woman. It was I was watching the other day, Mikey, and I love this kind of. It's how I bide my time until I expire, I guess. These version videos. Have you ever seen these? It's like
No.
one of the hottest things on here. So what they do is they young kids pick a song, and they'll sit them down and they'll play it for them first time.
Oh, they've never heard it before.
Never heard it before. And
I've seen that.
these two kids, young people that do it that I've picked up on.
I've never heard
They
Pink
did
Floyd.
um, the worst that could happen, and what they did smartly, they picked live performance from Ed Sullivan, where Johnny Maestro, who I think had one of the top, if not the top. I mean, I'll put D on it, number one, but I'll put
Mhm.
Johnny Maestro, and he goes through the song live, and the notes he's hitting are just the wall. The girl who's into it, the woman, and she's really young, very young lady, crying as he's singing. She's like tears are coming out of her eyes. She says, "I haven't heard anything like that before." She said she said he took me. His voice got inside of me and took me. And I was like, boy, if Johnny Maestro could hear that, man,
The whole career was worth it.
the whole career was worth. He could, no. As a matter of fact, I actually was going to send it to his parents still live on Staten Island.
Ah,
I was going to find their see if I can find their email addresses, because I thought it was such a thing that that these two young kids listen to this and are blown away, moved by his voice.
yeah.
It's why you love music, man.
And true enough. Well, Vinny, let's tune into the convention and see what's going on, and we'll meet here Wednesday for another Wacky Wednesday.
before we do that, Mikey, can we just take a second to? I want to get your thoughts on the passing of Phil Donahue, who
Um,
this morning.
I've
Or
never watched those talk shows. I know who he was. I know exactly what he did, but I was not a fan. I didn't dislike Phil Donahue. I just didn't tune into his what I thought was sort of smarmy sincerity.
yeah, well, it was definitely exploitative, like
Yeah.
ways, in many ways. The first of the what evolved into Maury, Jerry Springer.
And he did his show in Cincinnati all those years.
No, I think no, he was in Chicago.
Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, he was in Chicago. Married to Marlo Thomas for a million years, and done wonderful work for St. Jude. And whether you liked him or you didn't, he definitely blazed a path for people wanted to do talk.
Yep.
I mean, whether they were good talk shows or bad talk shows. Uh, the only, the only thing I could really say about him is that it seemed like he had a show where he talked to people things as opposed to at people.
Yeah, he was a good communicator. I just
So
thought his sincerity was manufactured.
yeah, and I would agree with that. To that. I mean, maybe early on when he was in Chicago and doing his show, certainly used to have some interesting guests.
Oh yeah.
But he was like the first. He was kind of the first of that. Who was the other guy? Irv Kupinacet, right? Right?
Cuppicent. Irv
Cupset.
Cuppicent.
Cup Show.
Yeah, he was a columnist for the Chicago papers for years.
And Mike Rowe.
Yeah, right.
Those were guys that Chicago loved to put their newspaper guys on TV.
Yep.
There was always in Chicago, there were newspaper guys who just wound up on TV. Royko probably, well, Donahue the most successful. Royko certainly the best of them.
And who was the guy that wore the plaid shirt that was on every talk show? He had a talk show for years. Chicago personality. Came out of the labor movement. What was his name?
Wasn't that Royko?
No. Shock of white hair, checked shirt. Was always for the always his ticket to his fame was support of labor.
I can't. I don't remember.
Someone will help us.
Yeah, someone will send it in to us. All right, Mikey. We'll call the show. See you on Wednesday when we'll talk about the convention and anything else that happens between now and then. Until then,
Take notes, and if you get signed to Kama Sutra, let me know immediately.
if I get signed to Kama, or if God willing, get experience Kama Sutra,
Yeah.
which would be much better than signing.
Better for you. Better for you.
Better
Good
for
job.
me. Better for you. Better for everybody, really.
All right, Vin.
All right. Peace, love, and manage.
What a wine. They serve it in Chicago. Maybe you can get some.
Oh, you can get it in Chicago. Plenty of it. See you, Mikey. All for listening to the show as well. We always appreciate it.